Check it. It's like, come on, y'all, get live, get down. Check it. It's like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Get live. Get live. Get down.
Welcome to the C314 tutorial. Sporting a new attitude and a fresh modern look, the C314 is a tabletop CD player loaded with features and innovation, giving club and mobile DJs a complete, powerful, yet simple tool to mix, create, and perform at their best. Designed for DJs who want to play and scratch CDs just like vinyl, our flagship tabletop CD player features a large, touch-sensitive jog wheel, making it possible to mix, scratch, and beat juggle, just like using a turntable. An easy-to-read blue LCD display with track position marker, along with adjustable pitch range, key lock, pitch bend, and reliable anti-shock playback with auto cue and instant playback offer even more control and flexibility. The C314 even goes a step further by adding MP3 playback, onboard sampling with 4 trigger buttons, cue memory, seamless looping, 7 high-quality DSP effects, and a SPDIF digital output, expanding your creative possibilities beyond that of traditional turntables. Thoughtfully designed and engineered to give you the most intuitive and instinctual experience possible, the C314 delivers all these features in a logical layout with quality components, all at an affordable price. We're proud to bring you the new look, feel, and sound of Stanton. Browsing allows you to browse the tracks on your CD without actually selecting each one as you go down the list, just like an MP3 player. With this function active, turn the encoder to browse and push the encoder to select. This function works with both MP3 and audio discs. Queuing is the action of preparing tracks for playback. When the cue button is pressed, playback returns to the cue point and enters pause mode. Playback can also be resumed from cue mode by pressing the play pause while holding the cue button. This same action can be performed on the memory pads. You can also access queuing functions using the jog wheel. During playback in vinyl mode, touch the platter and press the cue button to set a new cue point. The unit will enter pause cue mode. During pause, use the jog wheel to find the right cue point. In CD mode, the unit will repeat the same frame over and over, creating a stutter effect. This function is called frame search. While the cue button is flashing, press it to select the cue point. In vinyl mode, the platter will act just like a turntable. In addition to cue points, the memory pads are used to store and recall loops and samples as well. Once the loop is created, press the save button followed by the pad on which to save the loop. Any loop or cue point can be played back as a sample using the pads by activating the sampler. During playback, set the start point of the loop by pressing the in button at the desired point in time. Set the end point of the loop by pressing the out button at the desired point in time. Playback will immediately return to the previously set in point and play to the out point, creating a seamless loop without interruption. To exit the loop, press the out button again. When the music reaches the out point, it will play through it instead of looping back to the in point. To replay or re-enter the loop, press the reloop button. The loop can be re-triggered by pressing the reloop button. Press the out button to exit the loop again. Once a seamless loop is created, the out point can be changed. Hold down the loop out button until the time position shows at the bottom of the display. Turn the wheel to the desired out point. Press the loop out again to save the new point and exit the mode, or press reloop to exit and return to the previous out point. The onboard sampler simply uses cue points and loops and plays them back from the internal memory independently of the audio from the disc. Once cue points or loops are stored to one or more of the memory pads, pressing the sampler button will engage the sampler mode. Once you have more than one pad loaded with a cue or loop, samples can be sequenced and played back in succession in the order that you choose. This works like any ordinary step sequencer, meaning that samples are sequenced offline, so it does not matter how quickly you trigger the samples. It will play the entire sample, then move to the next one seamlessly. With the sampler engaged, press the record button in the sampler sequencer section and it will light red. Press the pads in the desired sequence. Up to 12 steps can be stored and empty pads will not be recorded. If you are recording less than 12 steps, press record again to end the sequencing. Press the play button in the sampler sequencer section and the sequence will play. Press mode to switch between sample or loop mode. Sample will play the sequence once, then end. Loop mode will continue to play the sequence over and over until the sample mode is disabled. The sampler sequencer feature works in cue, play, or pause modes. Sample mode has two functions. When playing a sample from the memory pads, the sample will stop playing as soon as the pad is released. Sample mode also means the sample sequencer will play through the sequence once and end. When in loop mode, both samples and sequences will play continuously until the sample mode is disabled. The clear button, and while it is flashing, press the pads you wish to clear and those will flash red. Press clear once more to complete the process and the pad lights will now turn off, letting you know that there is no information stored in them. In the vinyl mode, the jog wheel will simulate the behavior of a turntable. The top surface of the wheel is touch sensitive. Putting your hand on the wheel will stop playback as it would a vinyl record. Once playback is stopped, moving the wheel back and forth will create the scratching effect, like on an analog turntable. To activate vinyl mode, press the vinyl button. The C314 also has a touch rewind feature. With this feature active, every time you touch the top wheel surface, playback will pause and return to the last cue point. Upon releasing the wheel, playback will resume from that cue point. This enables a quick and effective beat juggling effect with a single CD. To activate touch rewind mode, press the touch rewind button. You can adjust the start and break times so it stands up like a turntable when pressing the play pause button while in the vinyl mode. To do this, hold the vinyl button until it starts flashing. Then use the encoder label vinyl start to adjust the start time. Simply turning the encoder will fine-tune the start time. For a faster adjustment, push down on the encoder while turning the outer jog wheel. Then use the right encoder, labeled vinyl break, to adjust the break time. Follow the same instructions as for the start time. Press the vinyl button to exit. There are 7 onboard effects: auto filter, manual filter, echo, pan, phase, flanger, and transformer. Up to 3 effects can be used simultaneously. To activate an effect, simply tap the desired effect select button. Both filters are activated via the filter button. The manual filter is activated by holding down the button until it lights up green. Use the time division indicators to change the effects time in sync with the music, or the effects time encoder to adjust it manually. When 1/4 is selected, the activated effect will modulate with every quarter beat. 1/2 signifies half beats, 3/4 signifies 3/4 beats, and 1/1 signifies 1 beat. 2/1 signifies 2 beats, and 4/1 signifies 4 beats. Activate the outer jog button to control the effect's ratio parameters using the outer jog wheel. For example, with the outer jog active, turn the manual filter by holding the filter button. Now turn the outer wheel to create a filter sweep. The single continuous button toggles between continuous and single play modes. Continuous mode operates like a normal CD player, playing the entire disc without stopping. Single mode only plays one track at a time, returning to the cue point when the track is completed. The LCD will display single when in that mode. The C314 also has a saving feature. This unit will retain the settings you have made for most of the functions, even if you unplug it. These functions include pitch range, pitch lock, key lock, effects, vinyl and touch rewind, single continuous, auto BPM, and repeat. On the LCD display, the track indicates the current track selected or being played. CD MP3 indicates whether the current disc is a standard audio disc or an MP3 disc. Pitch value shows the percentage of the pitch slider. Lock shows the pitch lock and or key lock are active. Single, controlled by the continuous single button. This indicates when the unit is set to play just one track at a time. Auto BPM indicates when auto BPM is active. To activate, press and hold the tap button. Auto cue indicates when auto cue is active. To activate auto cue, press and hold the single continuous button. Loop indicates when the CD is in loop mode. Reloop indicates when there is a previously set loop and that the loop is ready to be played again. Effect indicates when an effect is active. Play indicates when the unit is currently playing a CD. Hand indicates when the touch-sensitive surface of the jog wheel is active. Pause indicates the unit is in cue or pause mode. Cue indicates the unit is at a cue point and is ready to play. Wheel indicator. This is a visual representation of the vinyl marker, which is traditionally used to mark the location of certain sound or cue point on a vinyl record. Here it indicates the play position, rotating during the playback in either direction, and stops during cue or pause mode. It also indicates the speed of the forward and reverse search operation. Anti-shock and buffer indicator indicates the current status of the buffer memory. Is represented on the display by a bucket being filled or emptied. The bucket itself represents instant start function, which works by buffer memory. If the bucket is flashing, the instant start is not available. Each bar within the bucket represents 2 seconds of anti-shock protection. There is up to 10 seconds of anti-shock protection available. It is recommended to let the bucket fill up before using the jog wheel in vinyl mode. XY BPM indicates whether parameter is displayed in the BPM or effects parameters. Parameter shows the current BPM count or tempo of music. Also shows the effects, time, and ratio parameters while they are being adjusted. Time bar shows a proportionate visual representation of the time remaining or time elapsed. Time display displays the time of track or tracks currently selected in increments of minutes, seconds, and frames. Text. The text portion of the display is mainly used to display MP3 file names or CD text information. It is also used to display various messages such as effects parameter settings and more. Elapsed total remain indicates whether the time shown on the display refers to total remaining time or track remaining time. If either of these are not illuminated, this indicates elapsed track time.
Like, come on, y'all. Come on.